Hey guys, in this video I want to go ahead and talk to you about arithmetic sequences and series, just an introduction. En este video vamos a estar hablando de serie aritmética y secuencias aritméticas. Now there's a difference, guys. A sequence, you notice I have the numbers here. A sequence is separated by the commas. A series is when you're actually adding those values. Una secuencia, como pueden ver, está separado por las comas. Pero cuando hablamos de una serie, ven que se están sumando. Now, you have to understand, guys, when you're talking about a series or sequence, you got to look at the pattern. Tiene que ver el patrón de la secuencia o de la serie. Now, if you see here, it's adding the same number again. Adding the same number again. So here, when we're adding the same number to the sequence or the series, we call that a linear relationship. Esta relación es lineal. So the linear relationship is derived by y equals mx plus b, which you guys have seen before. The only thing is it resembles a line, but this is actually not a line. It's because it jumped from one number to the next. It resembles a line, so we use y equals mx plus b, but we use different notation to go ahead and explain it. Se ve como una línea, pero no es una línea. Entonces lo que vamos a usar nosotros es la ecuación, pero no las mismas letras. Okay. Entonces vamos a usar for y, we're going to use a sub n, meaning a for arithmetic, n for the number, a aritmético, n el número de la serie. And now the separation here, you see how it's jumping by 2, está saltando por 2. Now normally that would be your slope, the m. But now we call that's our d for the difference, okay? The other thing you got to understand is a sub 1 means the first number. La A1 quiere decir el primer número. And since we're using the first number, we're going to use n minus 1. Because remember, we don't start at 1. We always begin counting at 0. Comenzamos contando con 0. Pero en esta situación, como nos dan el primer número, vamos a comenzar con el primer número. Entonces, este no puede ser n, tiene que ser n menos 1. Okay, para hacer esa clarificación. And so this is the equation that we would use for this particular sequence. So if I wanted to write this, it would be a sub n. Si yo quiero escribir esta, el primer número es 3. Okay. Más. Okay. And I think sometimes you write the d in the front, sometimes in the back. I think your professors write it like this, but you can write it in the front. Se puede escribir la d enfrente también. You see that it's growing by 2, está creciendo por 2, so eso va a estar enfrente. Y el n menos 1. So now here I can find whichever number in the sequence. So let's say I wanted to find the 30th number. Hay que decir que yo quiero encontrar el número 30 de la serie, de la secuencia, perdón. So if I want to find the 30th number, I'm going to put 2, right? That's 30, right? 30 take away 1 is 29. 30 menos 1 es 29. Okay. So then I continue. 20 por 29. 2 por 29. Sorry. 29 times 2 is 58. 58 plus 3 is 61. 61. Entonces, el 30 número de la secuencia, the 30th number of the sequence is going to be 61. Okay. Now the series is they're asking something different. They're asking us to add. En la serie, ellos nos están pidiendo, okay, sumen todo esto y denme el resultado. Now, there was a famous mathematician called Carl Friedrich Gauss, and his teacher, when he was a little kid, asked him, you know what, go ahead and add the numbers from 1 to 100. That was their homework. And to his surprise, he came back in a few seconds and gave him the right answer. And this is what he did. So he had to add all the numbers from 1 all the way up to 100. El niño Carl Gauss tenía que sumar los números de 1 al 100. Pero él vio algo interesante. Él notó que si toma el primer número con el último número, le da 101. El segundo y el penúltimo también 101. El tercero y siguiendo 101, 101, 101, 101. So what happens is he noticed that this pattern was 101, 101, 101. So he said, well, they're all adding to 101, and instead of 100, you have 50 pairs. Okay, right, this is one pair, this is two pairs, this is three pairs, this is four pair. Entonces lo que él notó, tienen 101, pero hay 50 pares. Entonces dijo, bueno, 50 por 101 me da el resultado. And that was it, guys. Now from that, we're able to figure out actually the formula to add any series. Y con eso podemos encontrar la fórmula para sumar una serie, que sería esta. So S stands for sum. Okay, when we're the sum of any number of the series. Okay, so we're going to add the first number plus the second number. I'm sorry, plus the last number, and we're just going to take half of the number of the terms that we have. Entonces lo que vamos a hacer es vamos a tomar el primer número, sumarlo con el último número y después multiplicarlo por la mitad del número de la cantidad de la serie. Okay, so. And before we do some examples, there's two things you have to understand. There's two types of series or sequences. There's finite and there's infinite. Hay dos tipos de secuencias o series. Hay finito, quiere decir que termina, y infinito, quiere decir que nunca termina. So if you notice here, this is a finite series because it ends at 36. And this is an infinite series, okay, it never ends. So an infinite series, well, what happens, I'm just going to keep adding numbers and it gets getting bigger. So we use a symbol, it's the infinity symbol. Este es el símbolo que me dice infinito. So my job is to add these up, all these numbers. What would that sum be? Entonces, lo que yo tengo que hacer es sumar, ok, todo el 3, el 6, el 9, pero eso dilata mucho, entonces vamos a usar la fórmula, ok. Entonces, todo lo que tenemos que hacer, el primero más el último, 3 más 36, okay. Ahora tengo que tomar la mitad de los números de los términos. Bueno, ¿cómo agarro los números de los términos? Well, how do I find out how many numbers there are, right? You're going to take the first number minus the last number divided by the growth. Okay, ¿cómo está creciendo? En este está creciendo por 3. Está sumando por 3. Entonces lo vamos a dividir por 3. Entonces 36 menos 3 dividido por el crecimiento. So 36 minus 3 divided by the growth. So 36 minus 3 is 33. Okay, divided by 3. And that's 11. So that means there's 11. Okay, there's 11 terms here. Actually, no, there's actually going to be 12 terms. Entonces esto me da 11, pero ¿qué? ¿Hay 11 o hay 12? Actually, the answer is actually there's 12. There's actually one more. Think about this. Piensen esto, okay? Si yo les pregunto, cuenten del número 1 al 5. And if I ask you, count from 1 to 5, okay? How many numbers are that? Well, you would say 4, right? No. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's actually 5, right? If I ask you, if you're going from 1 to 5, how many numbers is that? Well, you would say 4, right? Because 5 take away 1 is 4. But no, actually, because you got to count the 1 that you started with. Y si yo les pregunto, cuenten del 1 al 5, me van a decir, oh, es 4. ¿Cuántos números hay? 4. No, porque si comienzan a contar 1, 2, 3, 4, hay 5 números. Ok, se les olvidó contar el primero. La diferencia es 4, pero como estamos contando cada número, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hay 5 números, 5 términos. So when you're finding the terms here, guys, yeah, 36 minus 3, we do the math, we get 11, but it doesn't have 11 terms. You're going to have to add an extra one to account for the beginning, if that makes sense. So now we're going to have 6 times 39. And so the sum of the first of this finite series is 234. Entonces, la suma de todos estos números hasta el 36 es 234. Okay? So let's go ahead and see if we can do some more. Vamos a ver si podemos hacer unos dos más. Okay? So let's go ahead and do this one here. Okay? So we're going to go from 4 to 44. Vamos del 4 al 44. Okay? Entonces, la suma de todos estos términos, ok, vamos el primer número más el último número, ok. ¿Cuántos términos hay? Yo no quiero contar hasta el 44, entonces ¿qué hago? I don't want to count all the way to 44, right? So I'm going to do the first minus the last divided by, well, what's the growth? ¿Cómo está creciendo? Está creciendo por 5. It's adding by 5, right? Está creciendo por 5. Okay? So 44 minus 4 is 40. Divided by 5 entre 5 is 8. So does that mean there's 8 terms? No, there's not 8 terms. There's one more. There's 9. Okay? Hay 9 números. Okay? So now we're going to go ahead and do the math. Vamos a hacer la suma. Okay? 4 más 44 es 48. 48. 48 times 9. That's 432. 432 divided by 2 is 216. 216. So you always have to add one more. Tienen que sumarle una más. Okay? And let's go ahead and do one more. Vamos a hacer uno más. Okay? Same thing with the negatives, igualmente con los negativos. Si la serie se está sumando por el mismo número o restando el mismo número, es igual. Okay? Entonces vamos a seguir. Okay? Los números de términos no los sé. El primer número es menos 18. The first number is negative 18. The last one, you're adding negative 54. Okay? Alright. Entonces, ¿cuántos términos hay? How many numbers are there? You take the last number, subtracted by the first number. Lo vamos a restar del el primer número. Okay, dividido por, well, what's it growing by? If you notice that it's subtracting 4, está restando 4. So we're going to put minus 4. Okay. So this is going to give me negative 54 plus 18, negativo 54 más 18, menos 36 sobre menos 4. Y me va a dar positivo 9, pero no hay 9, hay uno más. So there's going to be 10 terms in this guy. Okay? So the sum, because remember we're adding them, is going to be 5 times 5, 6, 70, negative 72. So 5 times 72 is 360. So the sum is going to be negative 360. Alright, guys? So that's how you would go ahead and do the series. You're adding finite series, okay? This is finite arithmetic series. Entonces estas son series finitas de aritméticas, okay? So hopefully that helps you guys, and I'll see you guys next time.